Good Thursday afternoon for all of you who are tuning into today's episode of Selling That House. I've got one of my social connections who's been kind enough to share his time with me, because this guy, he's always mobile, and you'll see in a minute or two what I mean by that. He's always on the go. And with that said, he's also doing some interesting things in his personal life and his business life, where I thought many of you, if you don't know him yet, just might benefit, knowing, oh my gosh, I met a guy named Moses. So with all of that said, let's welcome my new friend, Moses Mukungwa, into the conversation. Moses, how are you?
I'm doing dandy, man. What an introduction. You got me feeling special welcoming me on to your show. And I got to thank you for, considering having me on here. I know you said I was gracious with my time, but I appreciate the consideration, man. And I'm excited to chat here today.
So I can tell, as I teased our audience, your audience, my audience, as I teased everyone, you're a man on the go. You absolutely are a man on the go, because we're catching you in the car, mobile. Oh my gosh, love it. So you're outside of your usual studio. You're bringing your mobile studio with you in it today.
I am, man. I am. Yeah, you can call this my my office on the go, my mobile office, right? I'm always getting a bunch of work here in between, calls with clients, in between meetings and appointments. But yeah, you're seeing me here in the car, and just like you said, man, always on the go. So you got to stay prepared, man. You got to be ready to roll.
Right on there, brother. So with all of that said, let me get you warmed up. And the best way to warm you up, you know what? Let's get some of your fan base to give you a big round welcome and applause. Here we go. They got to get you warmed up so that Moses is going to do his thing here, everyone. Yep. Look at all these people.
There you go.
These fans of yours,
all the love
in the corporate world, that know you, that love you, that apparently see you enough, right? Because you mobile, you get yourself there, you show them your love and that kind of stuff. So with all of that said, let me lean in to start you into our conversation today in this episode of Selling That House. You're probably what I call the unicorn.
Hey, that sounds like a good thing so far, right? Tell me more.
You're a unicorn because your name is Moses. Come on, let's get real with that. Okay. And then second, you're a unicorn is because you've got like a double and a triple threat. You're a pretty damn smart guy. You know chemistry, as I learned. Right?
Well, a handful of my college professors might tell you otherwise, but I guess you could say I know a little bit here.
Well, you must have had to do well enough on the tests with your teachers and college professors, with all of that chemistry that you had to learn, that you had to pass, and obviously that you're applying today, buddy.
Yeah.
So with that, let me now ask this question. chemistry or pharma versus real estate? Which is more difficult, Moses?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I get that one a lot. So here's how I would answer that. Right,
All right.
they are both so different. They are so different, right? And
Okay.
it's there are a lot of similarities without a doubt, but considering pharmaceutical sales and as you pull on my chemistry background and how I've been able to leverage that when I'm having conversations with customers in the field and trying to promote my medications for the organization that I work for, right? But on the other side, when it comes to real estate, we're looking at more of a business to business sale on the pharmaceutical side, and then you got more of a business to consumer sale on the real estate side. And so,
Right.
a lot more on the real estate side is a lot of educational components in there, right? You're educating a lot of people who don't have a ton of experience, maybe buying or selling a home. For many people, they only buy or sell a handful of homes their entire life. And so you're walking them through the process, start to finish. A lot of people have a lot of questions, a lot of anxieties about, what if, and you got to be able to, set clear expectations and kind of guide, again, start to finish on what to expect and how best to navigate the space of real estate on the consumer side. And then when it comes to pharmaceuticals, man, it's a lot of, there's still a lot of an educational piece because,
Right.
face it, right? Doctors, as much as we think all they do when they go home is just read a bunch of journals and do a bunch of, studies into all the medications that they prescribe, they have a life too, right? And all these medications can, I mean, they do, they really do. And well, some maybe more than others, right? Let me put that out there. But, all these medications keep coming out and, medicine as a whole is always changing. And so the task that I have, the responsibility that I'm tasked with on the pharmaceutical side is getting in front of these healthcare providers and keeping them, abreast with what is going on with the disease states that they currently treat, specifically promoting my medications. And so it's a different type of education, but nonetheless, man, both are incredible. And, I really like doing both. So
Good. Well, if I may drop this comment in both of your worlds, the two things that you love doing, and apparently, you do it well enough, right? Because you're doing both. You are absolutely providing solutions to life event issues and problems, right? Spot on.
I like to think so. And hopefully there's enough people that would agree with that. So I'll take your word for it. I won't fight you on that.
Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten you warmed up, let me now move the conversation to the one thing only you can answer, Moses, and that is, how do you work your chemistry to attract those sellers and those buyers in your business or real estate? What's your secret, buddy?
Man, the secret sauce, right? I guess. Well, I'll tell you this, man. You put their information in the DocuSign and say, listen, you have to sign this, otherwise I'm not leaving your house. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, kind of. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. It's funny you mentioned, chemistry. I think that's a critical component of what we do here, right?
Yeah.
I think, and they say this all the time, people love to do business with, and people love to buy from people that they like. And I think an element of that is true.
Yeah.
But I think what's even more true than that is, people want to be around and people want to transact with people that they trust. And I think it all starts with having a foundation of trust in the very first interactions that you'll have with any type of client. And so I always approach, my business from a standpoint of service. I got to go in there truly detached from any outcome that I may experience when I'm meeting with a potential seller or buyer. And I'm just going there to understand what needs are you trying to fulfill? And if I'm able to fulfill that, right, how best can we partner to get you where you want to go? And so I think that's allowed me to be of service to the people that have been gracious enough to entrust me as their agent, right? And that I've been lucky enough to represent at, as clients of mine. So it's just a little bit of a, chemistry. You might look at it that way, right? You gotta have a vibe with somebody, but I think it all starts with trust.
Yeah, I am complete agreement with you. The only way they can trust you is, of course, let's go back to the very basic building blocks of a trusted relationship. They want to make sure that their concerns and questions are heard and addressed by you and by me. In return, what they're expecting is our service to them is usually educating them, providing information. And along the way, both of us have to be driving a lot of credibility, right? That's where trust really becomes, the key element with a capital T, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not, you trusting them. It's not just they trusting us. It's a two-way street, right? So when that happens, even though you were funny, but I do believe you, I'm going to get you the DocuSign, just sign it. That's so true, because once the trust is there, the credibility is there, and they know that you and I are dropping our solutions to their life event problems. They're like, yeah, hey, by the way, if I don't know how to use DocuSign, you're going to help me with that as well, right? And you and I can joke about it and say, of course, just click, click, click. Don't read anything. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's now wrap up our conversation today, because I know you're mobile. I want to respect your time and not make you, of course, I don't want to make you tardy or late for your next client appointment. Let's bring into the conversation what you are doing today with one of your clients in the business, in the game of real estate. And that is, you are selling this property for your client. It's a 6-acre property almost, in Kane County, in the town or city called Hampshire, Illinois, right, Moses?
Yep.
How did you go about connecting with these seller clients? Did they know you through another relationship? You worked your mojo and you said, you're going to trust me. I'm going to give you all of my credibility. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you the latter, right? Like I said, you gotta anchor on that trust and get them to believe in your ability to perform. But I think that is the $1 million question. I think in any sales profession that people are trying to get to the bottom of, right? Like, how do you get in front of people that are trying to transact, that are trying to do business? And what I have found, right, is getting out and being proactive when it comes to your lead generation and your prospecting. It's just served me well. And so this one is, this listing is one that I came across. The opportunity, rather, is one that I came across from actually cold calling, right?
Oh,
So they
wow.
had tried to list their property before with another agent sometime last year. The
Okay.
property failed to sell, and they had a whole host of, remarks and, less than optimal, experiences with their last listing. And what I was able to do is come in and just explain, well, first I really understand what they were going through, what a lot of their pain points were, but then really, explain what I do a little bit different and how I try and tailor every single listing to the needs of that client. And I think once I was able to really communicate that and show them, some of my past work and, get them to see the end, start with the end point and, walk them through how we can get to that point.
Yeah.
They, all walls went down and they just had the utmost confidence and trust that I indeed would be able to deliver on the promises that I made. And, and here we are with the property up and listed. And so this one here is, like I said, like you said, out in Hampshire, Illinois. It's sitting on just about 6 acres, 1990s built colonial style property. And the homeowners here have, they've lived in the property for the past 26 years, and so they're just ready to kind of move on to the next part of their lives, right? They had their family grow up in this property. They've seen it through and through. And what they're looking for is another family to come along and really appreciate it for what it is, and even take it a little bit further than what they were able to do with the property, and improve it that much more than it ever was. So it's been an honor to work with them so far, and it's been a great listing here for me.
That's good. So for those of you who are watching and listening to today's episode, and if you don't know Moses, we're going to make that real simple toward the end of our conversation. Having said that, back to this property, this 6-acre property that he's selling for these clients, you heard him talk about it. He made it all about how his plan, his idea, his strategy is going to help them get to the outcome that they want. Like everything in life, it's about educating, serving, and helping others get to their goal. Now, having said that, if you might have an interest in this 6-acre property, why? Because maybe you're ready to leave the urban jungle. Maybe you're ready to start some type of service business around horses, farming. You know where I'm going, people. Hit Moses up as we wrap up today's conversation, and I'm sure he can actually give you a private tour so that you can see all 6 acres yourself for what it is. So
right.
as we wrap up, Moses, did I do well enough to help you promote this property for these seller clients of yours?
You sure did, man. I mean, come on, we don't need no HGTV. We got it all right here, man. You getting it out. You getting some eyeballs on me, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. And by the way, for those of you watching or listening to today's episode, if maybe you don't want to leave the urban jungle yet, no worries. Moses can help you find maybe your next abode to casa in other parts of greater Chicagoland. So don't let that stop you. You don't have to, do full on 6 acres with your next real estate purchase. An acre, half an acre, we got some solutions for you there as well. So as we wrap up, how can you get in touch with Moses? Real simple. You see his name here in today's episode. Real simple is do a Google search. You'll find him that way. Or if you need some help, along the way, simply scan this QR code, connect with me, and I will gladly do a warm introduction between you to Moses Mukungwa, real estate broker extraordinaire, pharma professional extraordinaire. And of course, he shared with you his secrets, which, by the way, it sounded so obvious, but only one person can leverage the secrets. That's what I've learned. And the secrets are building a trusted relationship with you, educating you, serving you to really get you to the outcome that you want. So as we wrap up together in this episode of Real Selling That House, once again, scan the QR code. We'll gladly start a conversation with you. Let me ask my music band posse to close out today's episode with us. A little bit of country music there for all of you. All right. See all of you in the next episode.